If you've ever dreamed of training Muay Thai in Thailand, but you don't know how to prepare, this video is gonna give you the exact 100-day plan. In fact, the exact 100-day plan that I'm following leading up to my trip. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what workouts to do, what type of training to do and conditioning for your body so you don't gas out in the first week, and what steps to take so you can actually enjoy your trip instead of burning the fuck out. Now, I've lived and I fought in Thailand. I've run many retreats there, and in about 100 days, I'm flying back with my wife and 2 kids for at least 3 months of training, travel, and living the Muay Thai lifestyle again because I fucking miss it. But let me just be real with you. This isn't a fight camp for me. I am not fighting. I'm not cutting weight, and I'm not doing 2-a-day training just to peak for some fight, right? This is a traincation. This is a Muay Thai vacation. One that's focused on training once a day, plenty of family time, and being completely immersed in the culture and just everything that made me fall in love with Muay Thai in the first place. So if you're planning your own trip, I know you're asking the same questions that I see on Reddit and all the forums all the fucking time. How much training should I do before I go? Do I need 2-a-days in Thailand or will I burn out? Should I bring all my gear or just buy it there? How do I prepare so I don't get wrecked on day one? Well, all of those questions, that's what we're covering today. Before we get into the 100-day timeline, let's start with the weekly training schedule that you should follow. Now, everyone's life obviously looks different, so there are 2 options I'm giving you. The first one is the minimal training plan. This is for busy people. This is like 2 times a week, some heavy bag or pad work, probably around 5 to 6 rounds, a mix of technique and conditioning. Then you got 1 time a week where you're focusing on strength and conditioning. Primarily, I would ideally like you to do some weights, but if you just got body weight or dumbbells, that works perfectly fine too. Then 2 times a week, you should be running. One should be a long, steady state, about 20 to 30 minutes, and one should be intervals, maybe like 10 hill sprints. And then daily, you should be doing 10-minute shadow boxing or mobility. That's the bare fucking minimum to build conditioning and rhythm. Now, the optimal training plan, if you got a little bit more time and energy on your hands, looks like this. 3 times a week, at least, you should be doing heavy bag and pad work. That's 7 to 8 rounds and include some drills and some power work as well. And 2 times a week should be strength conditioning, explosive lifts, really building your powerful foundation of strength, your core, your mobility, and everything in between. Then 3 times a week should be running. 2 long steady state runs, maybe around 5K, and 1 optional sprint where you're doing the 10 hill sprints or whatever the fuck it is. Then 2 times a week should be sparring or clinch, all right? Do not neglect this. It doesn't have to be hard sparring or hard clinching, but you need to get the reps in. Then of course, daily should be 10 to 15 minutes of shadow boxing plus stretching and some recovery. Now, if you stick to either of these for the next 100 days, you'll build conditioning and timing to survive Thailand training without breaking down the first fucking week. So that's the weekly schedule. But to make this stick, we need to zoom the fuck out and know how to structure the full 100 days. So here's the exact roadmap that I'm following, broken into 4 clear phases so you can arrive in Thailand sharp and fucking ready. The first 30 days, days 100 through 70, is where you build your base. This is the foundation phase, right? First things first though, you gotta book your fucking flight. Because once you do that, it is real, my friend. That's the fight contract you sign. It gives you an actual deadline. And from now on, everything is pointing towards Thailand. Your only focus during this phase is consistency. Stick to either training plan that I gave you, the minimal or the optimal training schedule. I laid it all out for you, right? Don't try to go crazy with intensity yet. This is where you build your gas tank, your conditioning runs a couple times a week, your shadow boxing every single day, and you're staying clean, controlled, and fundamental when you're doing pad work or bag work. Just keep it simple. Work on the fundamentals, the jab, the teep, the low kick, defense, and a couple of your bread and butter combinations. Just don't overcomplicate it, all right? Here's your action tip for the first 30 days. Film yourself shadow boxing once a week, at least once a week. If you spar or you do bag work, you could also film yourself doing that. Even if it's just 1 round on your phone, watch yourself. Be your own coach, be your own student, because little corrections now will make a huge difference once you're actually in Thailand. Days 70 through 40. The next phase, we're gonna ramp it up. These are the next 30 days. Now we're getting closer, so it's time to crank things up a notch, right? Start by locking in logistics. Confirm where you're training. What gym are you going to? Are you staying there the whole time? Book a place close to it or on site, because trust me, the last thing you want to do is a 30-minute scooter ride each way with sore legs and beat up body and soaked clothes after a training session. Now, training wise, this is where you add more volume and more intensity. Push for longer bag rounds, maybe even 5 or 6 minutes if you can. Really build that cardio base. Add some more pad work if you got a coach or a partner. Add some more sparring and clinching as well. Strength conditioning goes to 2 sessions a week minimum. This is where you focus on your push-pull day and legs core day. Pretty much full body days whenever you can. But you want to keep it simple, explosive, and functional. If you're curious about strength conditioning specifically for Muay Thai, check out the free ebook I got below in the description. Now, this is also the phase to get even more sparring and clinching work, like I was saying, right? Nothing crazy, but you need to reintroduce yourself to timing, distancing, and composure under pressure. So your action tip for these 30 days is to simulate Thai style training as best as you can. Go for a run, then immediately hit your bag rounds while you're tired. That's exactly what mornings in Thailand will feel like, and it'll get your body and your mind prepared. The next phase, days 40 through 10, is where you sharpen and recover. This is your final prep phase before you actually start to taper and get on the plane to fly to Thailand. Start with your gear check. Make sure you got good gloves and good shin pads that you trust. You don't want to use the gear at gyms, all right? I don't care how clean they are. Chances are you're going to get staph. Bring your own fucking gear. Don't gamble on your first week in Thailand with either brand new gear that doesn't feel right or used gear that gets you sick. Sure, hand wraps and shorts, you could buy those there. They're cheap and you always want souvenirs anyway, but make sure you bring your own gear. Training should narrow down into your fundamentals. It should always be about your fundamentals. Drill your jab, your teep, your balance, and most importantly, your defense, your basic combos. Make all these fucking automatic. You're not trying to reinvent yourself in the last month before Thailand, right? You're just trying to show up, stay sharp, and stay polished. But now what's really important is recovery. That becomes a non-negotiable. Stretch after every session. Add in some mobility work. I don't care how young you are, you can't neglect this shit. If you got access to a sauna or regular massages, if you're that lucky, start making that part of your routine. The point is to arrive fresh, not broken and beat down. So your action tip for this phase is to take 1 recovery session a week as seriously as you take a workout. Treat mobility, stretching, and a long walk like it's training. That habit is going to save you in Thailand. The final 10 days is where you taper and you transition. This is where we're in the last stretch, right? This is where most people blow it because they panic, they overtrain. Don't do that shit, all right? Cut your training volume down about 25, 30%, let's say. That means shorter sessions, but keep the intensity high. Think 4 to 5 rounds of crisp, technical bad work instead of like 10 sloppy ones, right? Keep your runs short, 2 to 3 miles at a steady pace, just enough to feel sharp. Then off the mats, this is where you lock everything in. Bills, if you need a dog sitter, travel insurance, passports, packing. Remove all the stress before you travel. And finally, prioritize your sleep and clean eating. No late nights, no junk food, hydrate like crazy. Land in Thailand feeling energized and not fucking burned out. So that's your 100-day plan. But just remember, unless you're in an actual fight camp, you do not need to do 2-a-days in Thailand. That's the fastest way to burn out. And even if you're in fight camp, like me, I was focused on quality over quantity. You don't want to burn yourself out, be hating every single moment of it. Especially if you're over 30 or just doing this for fun or for the love of the sport, you're going to have a way better experience if you train once a day, enjoy some food, enjoy the sights, enjoy the people, and don't just get lost in only training. Now, if you want some help or a program to follow along that kind of maps this all out and gets you sharp and ready for Thailand, my Heavy Bag Blueprint 3.0 is exactly what you need. It's a 9-month progressive system with follow-along workouts designed to build your conditioning, your technique, and your fight IQ from home. It even has some built-in mobility during the workouts as well. And because you're watching this video and you're obviously serious about training in Thailand, I'll give you $100 off plus a free pair of gloves when you use the code Thailand100 at checkout. But let me just be real. No online program, no matter how good it is, like the ones that I come out with, will replace in-person training. Sparring, clinching, pad work, that's where the real magic happens. Now the Heavy Bag Blueprint 3.0, it gives you a solid foundation, so this way you can hit the ground running and have sharp technique from the start. So that's your 100-day prep plan for Thailand. Whether you stick to the minimal or optimal schedule, just make sure you are consistent and you'll land in Thailand and ready to fucking go. I'll be making more videos as we get closer to my trip to Thailand, everything from training prep to lifestyle tips and what it really takes to make the most out of your time there. In the meantime, if you're even thinking about a trip to Thailand, make sure you check out these 2 videos I've already made and subscribe so you don't miss out on the new series that I have coming out. I'll see you in the next one.